Alright, Shalom. This is your brother Arya from Toronto. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all powers, all glory, and all honors unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors, double praises as well to the elect, to the 144,000 elect men and hopeful elect men that are scattered across the four corners of the earth, from the 12 tribes of Yashar Allah, or Israel, starting from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, to Issachar, all the way down to Issachar, and to the elders and apostles and bishops and brothers of the great millstone, who teach and rule well, and that have taught this truth, and to the sincere Akim, Nakwath, and new believers that are tuning in. So, in today's lesson, we'll be regarding the topic, these people who predict the future are not your prophets. And I have two precepts regarding towards this topic. So in Amos 3, 6, and 7, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yeshai hath not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yeshai will do nothing, but revealeth his secrets unto his prophets. Right? So this scripture is going into your prophets today, who are from the nation of Israel, right? Those are the true prophets, who are the so-called African Americans, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who prophesy out there in highways and byways, on the street corners, preaching the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, especially the men of the great millstone, starting from Elder Apostle Tahar, Gabar, Harayamlab, and Rakah, and fellow other brothers alike. Right? So these are the true prophets who teach the real truth, and teach it 144% true, with the correct doctrine. The Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, had given them the proper understanding and breakdowns on what's going on today. And we do our best to teach the truth in the spirit, right? And if we go wrong, we correct ourselves for it, right? And back it up through scriptures. Not like these people who you call today the predict the future, right? Who are like the so-called futurists, prognosticators, and these other camps, right? And so on. They are not really your prophets today, and they don't deserve the right to be called prophets. They're your false prophets, right? And when you go into Ezekiel 13, this is what the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai will do to these false prophets, and soothsayers. Right? So we go into Ezekiel. Ezekiel 13 and 3. And we'll go through the NLT. So this is what the Sovereign Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yeshai, says, right? What sorrow awaits the false prophets who are following their own imaginations and have seen nothing at all. Instead, they have told lies and false predictions. Right? They have done false predictions. They say this is from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yeshai. Hold on, kind of got lost over here. Salakia. Yeah. So we'll go back again, right? So verse 3, and then we'll go to 6 and 7. So Salakia for that. So yeah, go back to the top. This is what the Sovereign Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, what sorrow awaits the false prophets who are following their own imaginations and seeing nothing at all. And then skip down to verse 6. Instead, they have told Salakia. So they have told lies and made false predictions. They say, this message is from the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yishai, even though the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yishai never sent them, and yet they expect to fulfill their prophecies. Verse 7, can your visions be anything but false if you claim this message is from the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yishai, when I have not spoken to you? Right? And yeah. So true prophet, like when you look at it, true prophets don't predict the future. They declare what the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yishai has revealed unto them. Right? Anyone speaking outside of that, whether it's through guessworks, spirits, or their own minds, is not really sent by the Lord. So there will be terrible consequences for teaching the wrong doctrines and these predictions they're talking about, and it doesn't even add up. It doesn't even line up to the scriptures, or most of them copy from the men of the GMS. Right? They just sugarcoat it, especially with that Moabite Professor Chang. And just because he speaks so eloquently and has certain degrees, you would rather listen to him than the prophets of the Lord. So to that, the Lord Yahweh Shai looks at these people as just fools, especially with these 2/3 who listen to them, right? And even goes into Hosea 4:6, right, in KJV. We'll go into that. So, my people are destroyed with lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And yeah, going back to the top, my people, like, which are the 2/3, right, are destroyed of the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yahweh Shai, I will also forget thy children. And hey, let's read in the NLT as well. So my people are being destroyed because they don't know me. Since your priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priest. Since ye have forgotten the laws of your power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, I will forget to bless your children. Right? Hold on for a second. So, like, again, you 2/3 would rather listen to these eloquent speakers than the prophets of the Lord. And when everything just starts to circle down the drain, you're going to try to find the prophets, but eventually it'll be too late. It'll be too late for you, and they won't be found. So in the second precept in 1 Corinthians 3:19-20, for wisdom of the world is foolishness with Yahweh Bashim Shai. For it is written, he taketh the wise of their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. And like the scriptures say, the wisdom of this world is foolishness. It's all vanity and not true wisdom. True wisdom comes from the Lord Yahweh Shai, right? And take, for example, King Solomon. He asked for wisdom, and the Lord gave it to him. And King Solomon was a wise man. And if you could see in the spirit, it was King Solomon is Yahweh Shai, right? And when you go to as well, there was one president, Theodore Roosevelt. He even stated that through knowledge of the Bible, like quote unquote, a thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth than more than a college education. And these college and university, though they don't teach you nothing today, Yeah, they may help you get the requirements to get that certain job, but that is not true wisdom, right? So going back, these futurists, prognosticators, pastors, priests are not your prophets. They are your false prophets. They only speak things to make you calm and relax and so-called know what to do in these situations, right? When in Isaiah 38 and 11, we'll go into that. 38 and 11 in NLT. So now go write these words down. Go and write these words down. These words, write them in the book. They will stand up until the end of time as a witness, as these people are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord Yahweh Shai's instruction. Right? They tell seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophet, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things. Tell us lies. Forget all this gloom. Get off the narrow path and stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel. Right? So, hey, if you don't want to listen to the prophets of the Lord, the prophets of the Lord of Yahweh Shai, and take heed on what's about to happen, then, hey, we did our job. We warned you of what's about to come. Either way, we got our bloods off of our hands, warning you. Because when everything starts to circle down the drain, like, what are you going to do after that? You can try to go to these false prophets, but they won't help you, right? They'll be out there trying to survive off their own, right? Without the Lord's help. And really, they're helpless on that day. So when all hell breaks loose, I would rather follow the instructions of the Lord instead and even putting my faith into the Lord Yahweh Shai and not man, right? And you can go into, I think, Psalms 118 and 8, I believe. We'll go into that, right? So, right, yeah. So in the KJV, Psalms 118 and 8 is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh Shai than to put confidence in man. And in NLT, it is better to take refuge in the Lord Yahweh Shai than to trust people, right? And you can even go into, and when that time comes, we have to apply that, right? Apply the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Lord Yahweh Shai has given us. And you can go into Isaiah 33 and 6, right? And wisdom and knowledge shall be thy stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yashai is his treasure. It's going back. So, to other brothers in this truth, we got to apply that wisdom and knowledge and understanding that the Lord Yahweh Shai has given us. And as for those who are tuning in, you should be listening unto the Lord Yahweh Shai's prophets and take heed of what's to come. Because the time that we're about to be going in is about to get serious. And you can see that happen right before your eyes. So, and really, this is just the beginning. And yeah, just turn back before it's too late. And if not, then it's on you. So, that's it for the lesson. Yaharatasa, I pray that you are edified, and would like to close out by giving all praises, all powers, all glory, and all honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors, double praises as well to the elect, to the 144,000 elect men and hopeful elect men that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. starting from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, to all the way down to Issachar, right? And to the elders and apostles, and bishops and brothers of the great millstone who teach and rule well, and that have taught this truth. And to the sincere Akim, Nakwa, and new believers that are tuning in, say Shalom. So we'll close out by praying and saying Shamai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Al-Hainawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shamai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Al-Hainawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shamai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Al-Hainawa, Yahweh, Achad. And Abad, Babal, Kwam, Yashallah. And Shalom to the next prayer lesson. Shalom, Akim, Shalom.